Hey guys, thank you for coming to this video. This is George Barber, the Queen City driver here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And this video is about my 1-year review with Uber. I'm actually a 1.5 years with Uber, but I wanted to take time to kind of give back and share with people what my experience has been with Uber. And maybe it'll help you. Maybe it'll help you decide to become a new driver. I don't know. But here's what my experience has been. I'm going to bring up a couple different points, so bear with me here. My first thing I want to say is that prior to becoming a part of Uber, I was a soldier for 4.5 years in the United States Army. I've been married for 32 years. I've raised 4 children. And also I've owned a franchise business for 5 years. So when it comes to expectations, I realized coming into Uber myself is that I was going to have to give Uber some time, and that I was going to have to focus on it and master it and it alone to start with. And so what I did, I gave my background information up, everything, my car, my registration. You know, I took a picture of it. I did everything that you were supposed to do to enroll as an Uber driver. So, and it wasn't very difficult. Entry for me was very easy. I expected it to be easy, so it was easy. And there were not a lot of requirements. I didn't have to bring any money to the table to become an Uber driver or get into the ride sharing world, which in my franchise, I had to give several $1,000s just to become a part of the franchise. I had to have liquid cash available to even talk to and become a part of the franchise. And if I told you the franchise name, you would know it. It's all over the country. But I was a part of that for 5 years. So I had the people skills, the business acumen, I have the business degree, whatever, you know, but my expectations were very real coming into Uber. I didn't think I was going to make thousands and thousands of dollars and that kind of thing. I really came in as a part-time Uber driver. I still am part-time. I maintain anywhere from 35 to 48 hours a week. Sometimes I hit 40, 41, but those are the hours that I work. Those are the only hours that I need to work, you know, as far as the entire amount of hours per week. So having a franchise, as I've explained, I understood coming into Uber that anytime you come into a business, so I took it as a business approach. I look at Uber not just as a driver, but as a business. I knew I needed to give it 5 to 8 years. That's just what I was used to. Now, did I think that I would maybe have to give Uber 5 to 8 years? No, I wasn't thinking along those lines, but I knew that I needed to be patient, is basically, because you, in the business world, you plant seeds. You may not get the harvest right away, but eventually you will. And so each time that you plant seeds or have customers in your car, you are kind of like seed planting. You're being positive. You want to make sure to have a great experience. Those type of things I call like seed planting. And sometimes you never know. Sometimes they come back to you and you reap harvest off of your honest, professional work and desire to want to help people, to help them get from one location safely to another. Now, did it come with a learning curve? Everything comes with a learning curve. I had a learning curve. I had to learn this town. I had to learn where the staging area was at the airport. It took me a week to find the staging area because I just didn't know where the staging area was. And since it's moved. But so when I got to the staging area, that's just where you pick up passengers. You sit in a queue and you wait for passengers to come to the airport, and the Uber knows who was sitting in what parking spot and in the queue, and then they divvy the customers to you according to who was there first, basically. So I had a learning curve. I had to learn my town. I had to learn where the traffic is, which way the traffic is flowing in the day, which way it flows at night, where the busiest, where the heavy populated areas were, where I needed to drive to make X amount of dollars, where I needed to drive to take them to the airport. I had to learn. So there was a learning curve. There is no way to escape learning. I mean, you have to, which brings up my next subject. You're going to have some good days and bad days while you're learning, but you take from the good and you take from what you consider the bad or the defeats, and you use them to strengthen yourself, your character, your knowledge, how you assist people, where your car is placed in the morning. All that data that you get from the good and the bad is going to make you a better Uber driver. That's what I have done. I've just applied it. To me, it was common sense, but not to everybody. It may not be that way. Now, another thing on top of that is I had to continue to stay positive. When you're having bad days, I don't want to say, sometimes I have to use some self-talk, make sure that I am in the right mindset when that customer comes to my car, because I'm going to tell you, when you greet people and you're in the wrong mindset, or you're negative, or you're mad, or some reason that you're not focused on them, they know it. It's no different. That is the game of life. That is the people game. If you are not positive, if you don't have the right mindset when you go into speaking with people or having them in your car, they're going to know it. So in order to give them a good experience, you need to have your mind right. You need to have your mindset right. Okay, and you need to have your verbiage, your words, and everything needs to be kept on a very above par professional level, and you need to stay positive. Okay, now during this whole time this year, did Uber make some changes? Yes, I happened to come through when Uber was making their 180 days of change, and there were some people that I saw at the airport. I happened to come by in conversation with groups or whatever. There were some of the drivers that were not so positive about that. Now I understand why. I'm not siding in one way or the other, but I am saying this: whenever there's change, people have anxiety. They do not work well with change, most people, right? So what you have to become, and what I have learned to do, is to learn to adapt to change. When I first got out of the military, I was very adaptable to change, but I had to learn a new acclimate in the civilian world. And most of you soldiers, you would know what you could relate to what I'm talking about, because it's just different. In the military, there's always changes, but in civilian life, some of the occupations or jobs you work have different types of changes. But having been in the military, I was easy to be able to shift when a change came, and adjust my attitude and keep a positive attitude about it, and keep a marching forward on, and let it roll off, and all the things that I applied in the military, I was able to apply with Uber. And so I keep my speech right when customers come in, my demeanor's right, and therefore I attract the money. Just be honest with you. And so you want to be an attractor. That's my next step. You want to be an attractor of money. You don't want to detract money. You want to attract money. And these people that are calling you for rides, most, think about it, they have credit cards. They have at least, now you say, well, anybody can get a credit card. Yeah, but can anybody maintain a credit card and continue coming back and forth to the airport for years and years with that same credit card, and call an Uber or a Lyft driver, in this case for this video, an Uber driver, over and over again? And then when you take them out to their homes, some of them live in some very fabulous homes. We're talking about business people. So out of that airport, you're going to meet a lot of business people. So you want to have the right mindset when you come across them. I've met some that wanted to keep in touch with me for me to be their driver all the time, because I engage people, I talk to people this year and a half that I've been, but I'm used to that because, again, I've owned a business. So it became it's very natural for me to engage people in conversation, and good conversation at that. So that's just some of my review here, or my total review. It is extremely positive. I continue to try to and continue to do ride sharing. I do have a website. That is another thing that you want to look into, because there's different avenues of income streams with Uber and any ride sharing business that you want to start paying attention to if you haven't already done so. There are a lot of folks out there that love a free ride. They love to if they've never driven with Uber before, for you to hand them a business card and say, here's some ride share credit. This is on me, have a good time, when you take your next ride. since you've never used Uber. There are a lot of people that still haven't used Uber. They may be on the Lyft side of the family, or they may be on the Uber only. But see, you have to be ready for both. So when you are a ride-sharing driver, a business partner, you understand that. And so that is my review of my year looking back. And I don't look back a lot. I'm trying to keep my eyes forward. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and you'll see a link somewhere below in the description in this video. Oh, and before I leave, real quick, let me say this. The hours I have worked all the shifts within a year and a half. I've worked the early morning at 4 a.m. I've gone from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. I've gone from 7 to 10 a.m. I've done the 2 to 4 shift. I've done the 7 to 10. I've done through the midnight hour. So I know the difference in the traffic in my city, the flow. I've experienced every shift that an Uber driver should drive to say that, you know, wow, after a year and a half, I've really gotten a lot of experience. Now I'm a 4.91 Uber driver, not bragging or anything, but I just want to share with you what's possible. And I do want to share with you that that's possible for you, and that's possible in your town. I've gone over 1,500 trips now, and I've gotten a lot of 5 stars, a lot of compliments. A lot of people want me to come back, want me to be their Uber driver all the time. But I'm sharing that with you to share with you that if you will be consistent in your business, your Uber business, treat it as though it is a business, because it is. You are independent associate, you are independent person working, and you should take it serious. You should learn how to get your website up, learn how to get your business cards, learn how to do your taxes, and find you a tax representative. And also, if you should look at becoming an LLC or incorporating. There's a slew of tax write-offs. So with that said, I just wanted to bring my year in review to you, the driver that has been driving a while, and to you, the driver who is looking at becoming an Uber driver. So if you're looking to become an Uber driver, I have a link below this video in the description. I want you to click on it. That link is called thequeencitydriver.com, or click on the other one that says thequeencitydriver.com/Uber. It's going to take you to the enrollment form. It's going to lead you there. Enroll. Get your bonus. Uber is willing to pay you a bonus for so many rides. It's different in every city. So I'm just getting a call real quick here. So go ahead, click on the link below this video, and go ahead and become an Uber driver and get started. And I want to be the first to welcome you to the world of ride sharing and say I wish you much success. Thank you.